The only way to properly kill these fuckers is to stab them in the asshole. I'm Jackie.
Say hello to Papa. Okay, wait, let me do that line again because I didn't count on missing you. I'm Sam.
You're grounded, monster baby. I'm Justin, and this is Terror Within 2 on Stinker Madness. Hello, and welcome to Stinker Madness. I'm your host, Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. This week on the show, a follow-up to a few weeks ago of Roger Corman's Terror Within 1. This is Terror Within 2, directed by Andrew Stevens, starring Andrew Stevens, and Arlie Emery. Written by Andrew Stevens?
Written by Andrew Stevens.
Makeup by Andrew Stevens.
No.
Coffee provided by Andrew Stevens.
Beard
Donuts
not
in the break
grown
room
by Andrew Stevens.
From 1989, is that where we're at?
90.
90, okay. Yeah, it's currently streaming on Tubi TV. Sam, go.
So, one Janusz Kaminski would shoot this. The next year, he would shoot Cool as Ice. But then in 1993, he went ahead and shot Schindler's List and won an Academy Award.
Jesus Christ.
Holy crap.
Get the guy from Cool as Ice. That'll do it.
Have you heard about this guy from Terror Within? I think you're going to like him, Spielberg.
Maybe I'll just shoot it myself.
No, but I mean, and since then, he's renowned. Janusz Kaminski is as good as they get. But he shot this one, and this is shot way better than the last one.
Yeah.
The music's also really good. I noticed that I had to actually watch the credits.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Plumeri is credited with the music, and he is a orchestrator, but he plays strings, including double bass. And you notice that the main score seems original. There is the sort of winding strings that are here and there throughout it, and then the open and close have it, and that's definitely him. I'm pretty sure they stole some of the music for Predator from the fight scenes.
Okay.
Did you notice that? Was it just me?
We just watched the movies that made us about Halloween, and now I can't think about anything other than the score to Halloween. So forgive me for having my mind wipe of everything musically before being reminded of John Carpenter's excellent score from that movie.
I like that one, but I have the biggest hard-on in the world for the Escape from New York soundtrack.
Yeah. Jackie, did you notice anything about the music in The Terror Within 2?
Yes.
Okay.
There was an awesome ballad about standing on someone's back.
Is that where Sharon's in her bedroom?
Yeah, making the inoculations.
Vaccine? Yeah.
So, yeah, I was just like, standing on your back, I can feel your muscles through my feet. Some bullshit like that. It was just so crazy.
Stan Bush.
I mean, we actually covered most of what made this movie. That the last one was the start of a long and lovely arrangement between Corman and Andrew Stevens. All of these people end up sort of going on to do things. What is the guy's name that you think is the guy from City Slickers, but he's not? Chick Venera?
Yeah.
He is more of a voice actor. He did, anytime that he did a cartoon where Joe Pesci, or he had to do a voice stand-in for Joe Pesci, this is the guy. Mm-hmm. Burton Gilliam from City Slickers and Paper Moon, he graces us with his presence. Renee Jones goes on.
Wasn't he in Back to the Future 3 with Slim Pickens? Wasn't he one of the cowboys that said...
He might have been.
Clint Eastwood, what kind of name is that?
Could have been. I don't remember Back to the Future very much.
Well, look at them moccasins. Nikkei, is that some sort of Navajo language word? Because he's wearing Nikes.
I don't remember Back to the Future 3.
It's not very good. Okay, what about the ladies? We got Ariel and
Claire
Sharon.
Hoke. She's good and stuff. Sharon, the gal, you're talking about the booby ladies?
Yeah, the booby ladies.
The booby ladies were in an episode of everything. Barbara Allen Woods is the larger of the larger boobs booby lady, and she goes on to, I think, be a main character in One Tree Hill. I don't watch that shit though.
Jackie,
I've never seen that.
Okay, all right.
It sounds stupid.
And I don't know exactly how or what situation he could have possibly gotten into, But he claimed that the only reason he did this movie was to pay for his house. So maybe he like got a new house, got a little overextended, and he's like, you know what? If I do this piece of shit movie, I can just pay it off.
Right. Okay.
He wasn't a fan.
No.
Like, I worked with Kubrick, goddammit.
Yeah. Gunny. He died about 5 years ago, I think.
Yeah, Chick Venera just died in July.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, too bad. All right, should we dive into this?
Yes.
Okay. Guess she didn't make it. That's the first thing. Answers are follow-up from the first episode. So, what happens? She does not appear at all. She's barely even mentioned. And I was surprised. The tone of this movie is strange because it starts out with an opening scroll explaining the world that they live in, which is fine if you're going in and never seen the first one. But there's enough references to the first movie that you're like, wait, I had to have seen the first one to even be involved in this. Why are you doing an opening scroll? You can't have it both ways.
I don't know. There's a weird amount of time that passes between the two of them, right? It's like this one probably doesn't make it onto video shelves until 91, and the other one was made in 88, something like that. Yeah, so you would have thought this would have been more of a situation where he, right off the heels of it, was like, Stevens, go ahead, take off. But apparently he kicked around the studio for a couple years and learned how to do some shit before he directed this.
Gotcha. So basically, David, our hero from the first film, is wandering the wasteland alone, still on his way to the Rocky Mountain Lab, which I guess is the only other lab. It's the only other lab we ever hear about. I mean, is there like a Seattle lab? Did he have options? Could he have gone to like LA lab or Dallas lab?
Well, I think the desert lab would have been the closest thing to the LA lab.
It was in Utah, so...
It was in Utah?
Yeah, the first one.
Huh.
Wasn't it?
Mojave Desert, yeah.
It was in Mojave. I don't know.
Southern Utah, Mojave?
Nope. Moab. Okay. I don't know. Great Basin, southern Utah.
Yeah, so either way, yeah, go to the LA lab, right? Rocky Mountain. Anyways, he's on his way there. Rocky Mountain is... I want to say they're doing okay, but also, what's the deal with the vaccines? They don't have vaccines, or they got to continually make new booster shots? Is that what's going on? Because they don't have it.
Not exactly sure.
Yeah. Well, how did they make it this entire time without vaccines?
Well, they didn't have any vaccines in the first one. They were just hoping to not get contaminated. So maybe the Rocky Mountain Lab has made some headway on the vaccines that in one of the ingredients is peyote. So they got to have more of those vaccines. I don't know that you get addicted to peyote. It'd probably be lame.
Does that grow in Colorado at all?
I don't know what where peyote grows. Probably. You know what? Colorado has the Rocky Mountains on one side of it. There's a lot of that state that's desert.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's western Colorado is basically southern Wyoming.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it's gross.
No, eastern Colorado.
No, western. The Rockies are in the east of Colorado. Denver's
sure
basically
on
the border. I'm pretty sure you need to look at a map.
All right.
Of course, I was the guy that was like, Mojave, isn't that in Utah? So maybe let's all go back to school. Do some Rodney Dangerfielding. I get no respect.
No, you don't. Okay, so moving on.
Okay, so Rocky Mountain Lab is doing the vaccine business. They know each other. He has now got radio equipment that didn't exist in the first movie, where he can radio in, and they're like, "Oh, David, you're on your way. Good to hear from you."
So my question is he picking up these supplies as he goes? Like they've discovered the vaccine. They're like, "Hey, we need this shit to make the vaccine. Can you pick it up on your way?" Like, if you see these things, grab them.
Well, one of the Rocky Mountain dudes, went out for a picnic or something. I don't know. Took all their fucking vaccine supplies and then lost them. He doesn't explain how he lost them. Like, oh, the monster stole them. He's just like, I lost all this stuff, and then dies. So
I think he may have been gathering the stuff, not that he like brought it without, because that would be really stupid.
Right, but he says, I lost it.
Yeah. He went out looking for stuff. He found it. Then he got attacked by monsters, didn't make it back with the stuff that he went out for.
Okay, so that's when Gunny, his character's name is Vaughn in this movie, tells David, hey, pick up the shit. go get us some stuff. Our dude fell down some stairs and dropped all of our stuff, and he's dead from it.
He just does he actually die on screen, or does he just go down the hall and we never see him again?
He dies on screen.
Yeah, he dies on screen. Okay. So they take the body down, and him and this other dead lady. This other lady's just inexplicably dead at the beginning of the movie. Like, oh, Helen died too, by the way. And they're like, oh. They
show Helen. Wait till Helen comes. If you haven't read that book, it's awesome. And it's totally spooky to go with Halloween. Anyway, so yeah, they show Helen in the doctor's area, medical bay or whatever. And she's got these scabs all over her face, and the doctor closes her eyes, and then she's like, she's dead.
Yeah. So they stick them in what the closest thing I can say is an incinerator, but it's not an incinerator.
It completely instantaneously vaporizes people.
Which doesn't line up with anything because it vaporizes the body bags, the bones, everything. It's almost more of like a teleporter.
Yeah.
Like they push the button and the body just goes into the landfill.
But they put a flashing bulb in there to make people feel better about the fact that they're now shooting these people out of a trash cannon.
What it is they've got a really good high-res photo of the inside of it that just slides in after the flash, and you think there's nothing in there because it just looks like it's empty, but it's just a picture. And then after everybody leaves, they just sneak the body to the dumpster.
Much like the Squid Games. So yeah, they've got a flash fryer of people, which will pay off later. David, he's out wandering around. He sees this couple getting chased by a monster, I guess. I don't know. We have monster cam happening for us. The monster, before I get into this, he names the monsters, and it was not really, it's Latin for looks like shit or something like that. But what was the name of it?
Luscious or something like that?
Yeah, Luscious.
Luscious. Okay.
It sounds really delightful, like some kind of fruity drink that I'll take a Luscious, please.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing, and it's got a little bit of mint, maybe a little hint of lemon.
And you might get pregnant from it.
Well, yeah.
Side effect.
That's the ugly part of it when they put the roofie in there and they mix it up and they're like, here you go.
All right. So they're getting chased by one of these Luciuses, and it's moving very slowly. Like it's Pepe Le Pewing them. They're running, they're scrambling, they're falling over shit. The dude tumbles down a hill.
It's very unsteep incline, and he's unable to climb back up it without help.
And the monster's just like, doop, 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 doop. Just walk. You'll do better, guys. Quit falling over your shit. So the dude is injured from his tumble, and David's walking up, and the dude gets just wrecked by the Lucius.
He has like a Wastelander boomerang, which is cool.
Right.
We can't lose sight of that. And then we get our first glimpse of David, I guess, in his boredom on the walk. He's really late to the whistle every time.
Every goddamn time.
So he lets the guy get killed.
He stands there.
And then he wastes an arrow that he knows isn't going to do anything. Then he's like, oh yeah, well, I got this whistle. And you're like, you're not getting that bolt back. He's walking off with it stuck in him. Nice job.
Yeah. Good work, David. Lead with the whistle. You know that's the only thing that works.
And we're not going to talk about the cat beard.
Oh my God.
The dead animal that he's got on his face.
Wow.
It's sticking straight out. It's like an old lady wig that they put an iron to, and they were like, good enough.
It's like the early weeks of the ZZ Top beard. Like before it gets cool looking. Like, man, just give me another month. It'll get cool looking. But right now it looks like shit.
It looks like the only thing that they could have done worse is like a cheap Halloween store wig stuck to his face.
I would actually say they emptied out the vacuum cleaner and glued the dog hair on his face. That's what it looks like to me. It doesn't even look like attached dog hair. It looks like that dirty dog hair that's been in the corner of your closet for 6 months that you haven't vacuumed up, and it's just covered in dust.
He got hit by a labradoodle in Arizona.
Maybe that's how what's-her-name died. Okay, so monster gets away. He goes to the dude, and the dude's like, take care of my sister. And he's like, sister, huh? All right. And she's like, is he dead? And he's like, yeah, but let's get out of here, you and me. And she's like, okay. Like, no questions asked. Let's go.
Take me to your cave.
Yeah, right. This is a pretty good find for David.
Yeah, it's probably why he let him get killed.
Uh-huh. Yep, it's all part of his plan. Meanwhile, Team Rocky Mountain, they send out some dudes, I guess, to go try to gather up the supplies, or I don't know what they're doing, but they're getting monstered outside. Here, Sharon's out there. Did you spot that she's basically April O'Neil, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is
blue
basically...
jumpsuit. That's the only difference.
Yeah, she's got the... Yeah. Did April showcase the bosoms as much with the openness of the jumpsuit?
Yeah, she had a tank top underneath the...
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, a whole 9 yards.
It's working for her. I'll give her that.
Yeah, she's fairly good looking. Her dude, Kyle, she's out with Kyle, right?
Yeah.
And they're getting chased around by monsters. Kyle's about to get killed, but she gets up on top of a mountain and pushes a boulder onto it.
Yeah, that was where I wrote my note. All we need is more giant rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've really seen the first thing that effectively has killed these things in the 2 movie series now is dropping a 4-ton rock on top of them.
It's much more effective than the fan death.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have to set anything up at all. You just line it up and smash them. So, they're good. David and Ariel is her name. They camp out, and she's, like, taking a snooze, and he's going through her shit. Like, looking through her diary and stuff.
He's like, there's good stuff here. He's like Yoda.
Uh-huh.
Just rifling through her shit. It's like, take this. Take this. Ooh, spam.
Is this your brother? You know it's my brother. You had a conversation with him while he was dying. I would hope that would stick in your mind a little bit. It's not like he grew a beard between the picture that he's looking at, like your shitty fucking face. Dumb fuck. Of course it's my brother. Jesus.
Well, the one thing he is not a dumb fuck for, he still has the dog.
Yeah, he's still got Butch. Butch is still around. Butch is very ineffective in this movie. Butch basically fought the monster like 6 times in the last one. Butch is mostly there for, I don't know. Why even have Butch in this movie? Why did they put Butch?
There's a reason. We'll get to it.
Okay, kind of.
Well, the thing is with Butch is that if you notice, he's got to keep Butch on a very short leash because Butch keeps trying to leave him in the desert. Butch is like, I would rather fend for myself. Fuck you. And he's like, no, come on, Butch.
Yeah.
Probably not the same dog.
No, I don't think it was.
Because the other dog was a really good actor, and this one was problematic and had to be leashed.
Yeah, this one was just a dog. So I like in the morning, he takes time to trim up his beard. He's had surgical scissors on him this entire time. He didn't just find these and be like, oh, thank God I can finally shave. He intentionally chose to look that way.
Well, he spent the night in the cave with her, and he's like, I'm in love now. Got to clean up for the ladies. And he actually stops, and he looks at his beard in the mirror and admires it like, yeah, that's a good beard. And it's like, no, it's not. No.
I'm going to miss this. So Sharon and Kyle, they get back to the base just as one of the Lucians starts attacking, and they're like, close the door, and they shut the hatch, and it smashes one of its fingers off, which doesn't make any sense because its whole arm is in there, but only a finger comes off. It's like, pop. Just squeezed out of it.
Yeah.
Falls onto the floor. Robin is like, ooh, a finger. Whee! And so she picks it up and takes it to the laboratory where she puts it in a little jar and is like, I'm totally going to forget about this for the rest of the time.
Yeah, no, they look at it later and she's like, well, oh my God, there's cellular regeneration happening here. That seems very dangerous. Let's not put it in the instantaneous departicleizer.
Right.
Let's walk away from it and completely forget that it was here.
Oh, yeah. That finger. That was not smart. So David, next night, I guess, I don't know, time is very fluid in this movie. He's like, man, being a wastelander sucks. It's tough and I'm sad and like this world's stupid. And she's like, don't worry, David. I'm here for you and I need you. She watched him let her brother be died less than 24 hours ago. He makes a poopy face and she's like, do me.
Well, not to mention that, at this point, she's got to be conditioned to be afraid of strangers, right?
Right.
So this dude shows up and it just must be his looks, right? She's like, okay, he's handsome. I'm alone. This is going to work.
I think she is the most randiest wastelander that has been wandering around. Like, everybody is hoping to find an Ariel while they're out scavenging.
Yeah. Sharon's pretty randy, as we'll see in the next scene.
Sharon's randy, but that's her. Sharon's role is the same in every single one of these Leviathan, Deep Star 6, monster movies from the 80s where science is involved. There's always one busty lady that's fast and loose. You could even say Vasquez is she's not a busty lady, but maybe she was the mold. Like, we're going to have one lady who is sort of tough, but also likes to fuck all the people in the lab.
Yeah, just
every time.
The take your top off lady.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the take your top off lady. Ariel's randiness is very not cliche for these types of movies. Anyways, so they bone down. They're in love. Sharon confesses back at base that she has enough for 2 vaccines, and she's boning some Chris Christopherson looking dude, which doesn't line up for me.
Do not insult Chris Christopherson.
I will be glad to insult Chris Christopherson.
He looks nothing like him. How dare you, sir? How dare you?
So I'm sitting there and I'm listening to The Highwayman, which is a great song, right? Everybody loves The Highwayman. And on the picture, I didn't even realize it, that Chris Christopherson was one of the people in The Highwayman. He is there with Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard, and Willie Nelson, and Chris Christopherson. And I listened to the song 3 times in a row. I can't tell where Chris Christopherson is in that song.
Either Chris, back up, further back, further back. You can still be in the picture. Just sit quietly in that corner and don't fuck this song up.
What? Okay. That guy sucks. So anyway, she's like, yeah, I have 2 vaccines, and he's like, sweet, let's do it. And so they bone down.
Later, I think that they're not like a couple. No. I think that he catches her and she's like, I have enough for 2 vaccines. And then she bones him and he's like, cool, my life is awesome now. And then she gives him a roofie of death.
A roofie of death. Yeah, she injected something in him. So David and Ariel, they're still wandering around. And she's like, so I'm pregnant. And he's like, whoa, really? Never asking by whom, or based off of our knowledge of the previous movie, by what?
She is impregnated by him, as we later will find out, but like they screw and they're in love, and she's like, I know that I'm carrying your child. And he's like, red flag.
Right?
I hate the wasteland because I can't just be like, I left some stuff in my car. I'll be right back.
I'm going to go get a pack of smokes. Where? Yeah, she's pregnant from yesterday. So he finds a vibrating cactus. He's like, he doesn't even specify earlier that, hey, I'm looking for cacti, just so you know. She's like, don't go near that vibrating cactus. It's got poisonous tarantulas in it. And it's probably the least frightening prop I could imagine. Like maybe a beach ball would be less scary than a vibrating cactus.
Well, later when we see these, like the mechanics of the vibrating cactus, so says that you got to be careful now in this post-apocalyptic. One of the things that the nuclear mutations has done to the Earth is it makes cactus that are actually tarantula bombs. But you got to open them up, otherwise they're just trapped in there. But the second you open up that cactus, pop! It's like a peanut can of snakes, only they're deadly tarantulas.
Surprise! All right, so they see this scavenger. He falls down a hill, and she's like, don't go near that guy. And he's like, I have to. I need to know where these cacti are. And she's like, well, they're right there. That one just has deadly tarantulas in it. Maybe the other ones are fine. He's like, no, I got to ask this guy, putting both of our lives in danger. And he's like, oh, hey, what's up, guys? So here's the deal. My leader, I'm part of this like group, and my leader, she would totally know where peyote is. She totally is down with tripping balls.
We use it for our religious ceremonies. Oh, what kind of religion? We like to take peyote. Mm-hmm. That's our religion. I fucking get fucked up and wander out into the desert and get killed by monsters all the time. The monsters probably just laugh at him because he's all fucked up on peyote.
Yeah, he's just like grabbing at things that don't exist, having conversations with trees. Are you my brother? Whoa, like your bark. Remember that time tree that we were like walking around and saw snakes flying through the air, and we were like, man, look at those flying snakes, and you were like, flying snakes, you should see what I've got in my pants. You remember that time, tree?
Then he accidentally steps on one of the vibrating cactuses. Yeah. Boom, tarantulas everywhere.
Yeah, so he's like, yeah, come on back with us, and they're like, sounds good. So he meets this lady, the leader, called Aliba. And she's like, the chosen one is here. And I'm like, what? There's a prophecy? We're getting a prophecy in this movie? She's like, it was foretold that you would come to us one day. Oh my God, no.
Turns out it's like the old one too, or something. Like the prophecy is just one of their rubs.
Right.
Yeah. Like, what are we going to use on them this time? Let's do the prophecy rub. Okay, I'm good with the prophecy rub.
Let's get help.
Yeah, get help.
Okay, Kyle, back at Rocky Mountain Base, he finds Robin, the finger lady. She's puking, so she's got it, the virus, whatever. So again, is this movie implying, because it was really vague in the first one, if you get the virus, do you become a Lucian?
No, you die. So the Lucians are like a mutation that shouldn't... After a week and a half, these things have died off. We discussed their life cycle in the last one. Their metabolism is too high. They don't seem to eat, and they only have one dubious method of reproduction, which is a total dead end.
Yeah.
So the virus is just like after the bombs dropped, I guess that mutated, and you just get a really bad virus that you have. You seem to just hemorrhage. You've got lesions all over your face, and you die.
Okay.
It's like Ebola or something.
Yeah.
Leprosy.
Yeah. So she's got it. David's like, okay, so are we going to go get some peyote? And they're like, yeah, come with us, David. It'll be fine. We're all friends here. Leave your dog and your girlfriend here, though. They don't need to go with you, especially not your dog. And so he's out there. Dudes come in and fucking kill Butch.
They fucking kill Butch, and it's Pete Koch, one of the hogs from the Redskins.
What?
One of the Redskins' great linemen.
Huh.
Which one was he?
Washington football team. I fucked that up. I'm so screwed up now.
Yeah, you're a racist son of a bitch.
He played for him when that was their name is the problem. So what am I supposed to do there?
He did play for the Redskins, not the Washington football team.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
They couldn't come up with a better name than Washington Football Team.
I think
They haven't come up with a name yet because Dan Snyder owns that team and he's a fucking wacko.
Yeah.
So they've gone under a 2-year nameless hiatus, and when they unveil it, it's gonna be dumb.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be like they could have already gone with the Senators or something stupid with the government. They're gonna end up being like the Rose Splash or something like that. You're
I bet you it'll be. No, it'll be dumber than that.
The Dandelions.
that.
It's going to be the Dandelions.
I think it'll be something vague like the Washington Liberties or the Washington Freedoms or the Washington Constitutionalists. Okay.
The Washington Constitutionals, that would be a good one because they would be confused with taking a crap in the morning.
Okay, so Butch is dead, even though Butch couldn't be killed by the most deadliest monster in the previous movie. They just walk in and kill Butch, and it's like, dude, bad arc for Butch. What, was he old or something?
He was... The way this plays is I just don't feel like he wrote that into the script. I don't feel like Andrew Stavins wanted to do the dog because the dog's on a leash the whole time. They're like, we really got to get Butch's screen time down.
Yeah, this is a pain
and
in the
after
ass.
he like bites the caterer or something, then they're like, all right, sorry, Butch, this is your last scene.
Yeah. And
But-
you're fired.
After the rub, he's like, oh yeah, the prophecy's just a rub. We're going to just sacrifice you to the monsters. And they bring her over there. When he comes back and finds what has happened, I'm like, I write down, you need to John Wick these motherfuckers.
Right?
And David's like, okay, I will.
Yeah, he goes out and, he gets attacked by the dudes that are with him, Bo and whoever, and kills them up pretty good. And then...
Well, he kills the one guy by throwing him onto one of those tarantula bombs.
That's true. Yeah, it pays off.
Actually, I think that guy falls onto the tarantula bomb on his own, and David's like, they
I'll
are
be damned.
minorly dangerous.
That's... what are they doing in there?
I'm trying to get out.
Yeah,
That's why it's all vibrating.
So dumb. Okay, so they've got Ariel. She's strapped down to it's a rape table. That's what it is. It is shaped to put a woman on for one reason.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess it's it implies that this isn't their first round with these.
No.
Like, they do this all the time.
Well, she says that if they give a sacrifice, then the things leave them alone.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Because they don't have to go in and kill everybody to get what they want.
They are unstoppable. They have one motivation. They're not going to be like, oh, I'm good on the rapings today. Back to my monster cave or wherever the fuck I live. No, they're going for more.
Perhaps because it's, a post-apocalyptic era without television, all the tape machines are gone. Mm-hmm. Watching these people get fucked up on peyote and fall over is like their TV.
Yeah, maybe.
They don't even need the sacrifices. They've just gotten evil.
Yeah, so they leave the cave, and David finds them, and he kills these guys up hilariously. Good cheesy makeup.
I love when he shoots the broad in the eye.
Mm-hmm. She's like surprised. Ah! And he knifes the other guy, and I like his when he dies, he makes this sound. Oh! Dramatic.
When Pete Koch gets shot, he just falls over and looks at the bolt in his chest, and he's like, I don't like that. Eat shit, Ben Kingsley.
He even says, that's for my dog. It's not for strapping his girlfriend to a rape table where she's about to get impregnated by a monster. He revengifies them for Butch.
Yeah.
What if they hadn't killed Butch?
They hadn't killed Butch, he's like gonna be like, I am gonna chalk this up to a misunderstanding. I'm a reasonable guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's already had his red flag moment. He was just waiting for that pack of cigarettes moment. And one presented itself, and he's just gonna walk away now.
Mm-hmm. And he reaches the cave, And he is too late.
The monster has ripped off her shorts.
Uh-huh.
And has started.
This is different than last time, where the method of impregnation was to just have goop come out of your mouth and land on somebody's face. That's how you got knocked up the last time. This is straight up, that monster's doing it.
She wasn't happy.
No,
she was horrified. She'd been raped, yeah.
He's like, and he's very nonchalant about it. Like, oh, I'm going to kill this monster, but you want to get nachos after this? I've had the worst day of my life.
Again, where he's like, all right, I got the whistle, but I'm totally going to try to get this guy with a machete first. It doesn't work out. He almost gets killed. Uses the whistle. It starts doing its thing. And then she picks up the machete and just lobs its head right off.
Yep.
So decapitation also works.
And whistles.
It doesn't, though, because a fucking finger can grow into another one. So that just turned it into two. We just didn't see that happen.
Good point. Good point. All right. So the next day, she's like, I don't feel very good. And he's like, So just get over it. She's like, my stomach hurts. I think this baby inside of me might be a monster. She's not anywhere nearly as traumatized as the last person we saw this happen to, who is like, there is a monster baby inside of me. Cut it out. And they're like, no. I don't think so. Ariel's very unfazed by the fact that she's got a monster baby growing inside of her. She's like, I don't feel good.
He's like, it's probably just you ate too much Spam. Mm-hmm. Even though I have seen one of these rip itself out of another woman and I know what's going to happen here, I'm just going to be like, dude, it's probably still mine.
Yeah. They push on to Rocky Mountain Lab. He knows what's going to happen to her. And he's like, let's go to the one place where there's other people that I kind of care about and are in an enclosed environment that they cannot escape, nor kill the monster that is about to come out of you, where you will also die. Let's go. Man, David, you suck. Back at Rocky Mountain Lab, Sharon gets found out because her dude is sick. He's like, I've got the disease, but I was vaccinated. And they're like, what? And she's like, ooh, yeah, about that. There was only one. I gave it to myself.
There's only one. I put Lysol in you. Don't worry, the virus will not survive.
Yeah, bleach and sunlight. I put sunlight in you. Hydrochloroquine in horse medicine.
You're not gonna have worms. You're also gonna fucking die.
And they're pissed at her, but in truth, she is the one that makes the vaccine later. If there's only one dose, she's the only person that can take it. So
yeah, no one should be mad at her.
No one should be mad at her, and she shouldn't have been secretive about it.
No, she is playing this by the playbook.
Right. I've got enough for one vaccine. When I replicate, when David brings the peyote, I'm the only one that can make more. I have to take this vaccine right now, though.
Yep, that's how it works.
That makes sense.
Laramie's like, nope, says it right here in the book. He's right.
But right then, the generator goes out, and so they don't have any lights. They don't have any video, and they're like, oh, we got to secure the hatch. Monsters will get in. And so Vaughn goes to check it out, and that's when he finds David and Ariel are now inside Rocky Mountain Lab. How much time has passed? I don't know.
She said 3 weeks.
3 weeks, and she's got a big tummy now. But in the last movie, the lady had a baby in like 48 hours.
Yeah, but they do cover this later with science, kind of.
Oh?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
All right. Well, I think we're at it right now because, like, she starts bleeding from the downstairs spot, and they're like, get her to the laboratory.
So this works out a little bit weird, but it sort of justifies David's thinking a little bit, that he's kind of kept an eye on it. It's progressing a lot slower. When their super scientist, Kara, looks in the microscope, she's able to have, like, a microscope that's also a time machine.
She's got conception footage.
Yeah, she's got conception footage. Let's check the footage.
There's your sperm. there's your penis sliding inside and out of her vagina. oh, there's the little spermies, and it goes in, impregnates her, and then there's a monster sperm in there. It's like, it's black and like raw.
And the monster sperm and his sperm are like fighting for dominance inside of the embryo. But it's also attached itself to her kidneys so that they can't like, it's like the monster half of the baby's like, if you try to pull me out, I'm gonna squish her kidneys.
I'm taking these with me.
Yep.
So he's holding her hostage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So David is somewhat justified in his actions and convinces Kara that we'll kill it real fast if it is not a normal baby. It is not a normal baby, and they don't kill it really fast. They just set it in the corner and go on to something else because they're like, oh yeah, that thing that we forgot about is totally a monster again.
Yeah, it's
what do I do with this monster baby? Set it over there. I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
Yeah, and David's seen this before. He knows what's going to happen.
He knows what's going to happen.
And he's like, yeah, just put it in the incubator.
Mm-hmm. We'll check it out later. I'm hungry. I want those nachos that I was talking about earlier. And she's like, what's wrong with my baby? And they show us, and you can't really tell. It just looks like a baby right here. Like, it's covered in blood.
And it's got a weird horn.
I didn't even see the weird horn. It's so vague on what is wrong with the baby.
Yeah, they kind of just do a real quick, look, see, bad baby. All right, put it over there. Don't kill it. I myself didn't get a good look at that bad baby.
Yeah, right. So Vaughn, the finger has turned into a blob. It's just this goo blob, and it rolls over onto Jamie. That's the shitty beard dude's name. And I guess digests him from the outside. It eats him, right?
It seems like it eats all of his skin, but leaves his bone, his organs. It leaves his skeletal structure, but that's it. Everything else it consumes in order to become bigger, which is the first time that the monsters have been seen in any way, shape, or form eating.
Maybe it didn't eat. Maybe because it was a blob and without form, it Buffalo Bobbed this dude and made a skin suit out of him. And now it's like, I'm a person too.
He's like, oh, would you fuck me? All right, fuck me.
Sharon.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
So they find his corpse, and Vaughn's like, all right, everybody get in the control room. 10 minutes. 10 minutes? How about like now?
They gotta get weapons.
I guess, yeah, that's true. And like go check on the other people that are incapacitated, like Ariel and Robin. And they go to get Ariel, and sure enough, the evil baby has escaped. And she's like, Sharon saw it, and she's like, it's fucking huge. And it balked me. I don't know why it didn't rape me like it wants to rape everybody else. Am I losing it? Like, what's wrong with me? Am I getting old? I mean, these boobs seem still pretty firm, right, everybody? She's like, why didn't it like me? Why didn't it like Sharon?
It liked Sharon.
It didn't do anything to her. It didn't even kill her.
Because there's a point where this monster is in deep conflict. He's like, I think I'm a human man, but I've got a weird bump on my head and my mouth is very ugly. And Lee Ermey just starts shooting him, and he's like, I am not your enemy. And by the third time he shoots him, he's like, fuck you.
Right. Just there you go again. It's a misunderstanding. David's like, all right, let's split up and we'll kill it. Every time I've had to kill these things before, I've split up and everybody gets killed, and there's usually just a man and a woman at the end of every one of these. So let's do that again.
By the way, every one of these weapons that you have constructed for yourselves, the flare gun, your guns, my bow and arrow, does not work to kill these things.
Yeah, it doesn't work. But let's go get them.
But I'm not going to tell you that.
Right. He does not reveal anything.
He does say, Kara, here is this dog whistle.
Uh-huh.
You need to blow this over the intercom periodically. And she's like, thanks, what's this?
Right?
The dog whistle that you will need to blow into the intercom periodically. And she's like, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention, what?
Yeah, exactly. when you see the monster on video and it's coming towards us, blow the dog whistle in the, you know what, better idea, record the dog whistle and then just run it on constant loop. We'll go in. These things will be too messed up. We can just bash their heads in right there.
Also, I didn't radio in that this very easy to make device with your manufacturing facility, you should already have like 40 of these, like they're reading glasses stashed fucking everywhere.
It doesn't hurt us at all. We can't even hear it. Just play it on loop. You don't even need to make the dog whistles. It is a sound fence for Lucians. I don't want to tell you about any of that, said David. Bad motivations, dude. So Vaughn finds David's kid, because it's David's kid. That's my boy. He's growing into a man.
Yep.
Cat's in the cradle. I never got to play catch with him.
Oh my God.
Don't hurt my boy.
And why is he still like all fucking grody, bloody drip mess?
That's his monster thing, is that he grew up, he was a bloody baby, and now he's a bloody man. It doesn't make sense.
It's fucking gross. I had a really hard time watching this.
And he's got a bump on his head.
Yeah, the bump is disgusting.
It's so dumb.
It's is that where his penis is, because he's a half mutant baby? So it's like he got confused when they were fighting for dominance and penis on your head.
maybe it's what was that movie we just watched? Oh god, the James Wan movie that everybody's going crazy, go nuts over. With the evil twin. Maybe it's a conjoined fetus that's on the side of his head.
Oh, the one where the lady is.
Yeah, don't blow it, don't spoiler it. But if we could think of the title of the movie, there's an evil twin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could just be a conjoined fetus. The two sperms, he's half man, half monster, and one side not internally, but on the outside.
Yeah, he's like the little head on the extra brain's like, don't kill these people, they're pretty cool. You can totally grab that lady's big boobies, though. Go after her. Because that's what he's trying to do. And she's like, you're not really trying. What? You know what? I'm going to hop in the Zappifier.
Yeah. This is the only place I can go, even though we've previously seen that this room loops around. You could just do Scooby-Doo getaways forever.
Also, make the hard play. Get him to go in there with you.
Right? I didn't understand this at all. And
Vaughn, she doesn't want to be raped by the monster.
I know, but she's like...
She's also a selfish, cold bitch, which we know this because of the vaccine thing that she pulled earlier.
That's not selfish and cold. That was when she was necessary.
Hey, I'm just going based off what all the characters in the movie said, okay? You're a heartless, cold bitch. Mm-hmm. So she was like, I don't want him to get me, but I don't give a fuck about you.
Right. And she's like, do it, Vaughn. And she's kind of jacked about it. She's not like, you gotta kill me. Don't let him get me. She's like, yeah, hit the button. I've always been teleported into the dumpster.
I am ready for my trash cannon experience.
So Sharon's dead, I guess. I don't know.
Not before she flips the monster off, because the monster understands exactly what that is.
She's like, take this, fucko.
And he's like, take what? You just got zapped. I'm going to smash Lee Ermey now.
Right.
But he's probably not even dead. He just bonked him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. So David and DeWitt is another character we haven't discussed at all. They descend into this the elevator shaft, and it grabs DeWitt, bonks him around pretty good. And once again... David is standing there watching it go down. And he's like, oh, now that my friend is dead, toot, toot on the dog whistle.
He reminds Kara.
Oh, yeah. She's got
to do the thing that she hasn't been doing this whole time.
You just watch your friend die.
After DeWitt gets killed.
Uh-huh. God damn it.
Also, at this point, has anybody noticed that this monster is really slap happy?
Yeah.
He's not really killing anybody. Right. It's not like he has the claws like the previous ones. He just slaps him in the face.
The backhand. It's like he's Rick fucking Flair.
Yep.
He's going to give you the back rake next.
Oh.
Powerbomb.
Punishing forearm shivers.
The punishing forearm shiver. I love that name. When you see the punishing forearm shiver, though, it is anticlimactic.
Yeah, no, it doesn't seem to matter how many of it's just the punishment that you can rack up with multiple forearm shivers.
Off the top ropes. So DeWitt's dead. David torches it, which has never worked, but this time it's like, owie, my monster flesh, and it falls backwards into the elevator shaft, and he's like, well, that's all taken care of. No.
Yeah, killed that one.
No, you didn't.
Fireworked in the Mojave base? No, not at all. They regenerate.
Mm-hmm.
So that one's not going to? Probably not.
It's half human.
No,
that one's not.
This is the finger monster.
That was the finger monster?
That fell in the elevator shaft, yeah.
I thought that was his son.
No.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, that made sense to me because that guy, it's half human. So yeah, you could get it with the fire gun.
Monster Boy's on his way to meet mommy. And it's in the elevator. That's what's in the elevator. The elevator starts going up. Once again, these monsters are intelligent enough to use modern devices like elevators. They know which floor they need to go to. They've read the directory. Mom's in Med Lab. Med Lab is on level 1.
With their sensitive hearing, they probably love elevators.
Mm-hmm.
Just waiting, hoping it's the one that you get into where Girl from Ipanema is playing.
Right.
I love that song.
Monster checks his watch.
But then before he gets out, he makes sure to hit all of the buttons.
You're right, to be a dick.
He's like, I am evil.
And so he's up there, and David's like, oh shit, I gotta get up there too. Ariel's up there, and they know Kyle and Kara are in the control room, and they know where the monster is, and Kyle's like, I gotta go check on Robin. That is the only way that this monster can get in here and kill us, is if you go out there. You know where it's at. You can see it on camera. It's behind that door that you're about to go through, you dumb fuck. And sure enough, it whacks him. He's dead. Well, no, he's not dead. He gets thrown against the wall.
He gets backhanded.
Yeah, right. But Kara, she doesn't. She gets smashed against the surgery observing window. Whatever those are called.
Well, he's not... Why is this the picky rapist monster?
Right.
Like, he didn't rape the first one.
Sharon.
And now he's got an... I mean, I'm not going to say that they can't smell fertility or whatever, but... She's an older lady, but you don't know that as a stupid-ass monster.
And my understanding of monster Lucian biology, in the first one, you didn't even really need the egg. It didn't become an embryo. You drool on their faces. All you needed was the woman's uterus to incubate your baby. So if she's not fertile or not, doesn't matter. She's just a placeholder for your monster baby.
Yeah, they're like a xenomorph more than they are.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so why is he being all picky?
Yeah, what the fuck, man? Highfalutin monster baby.
God.
Got a bit of a Adonis complex.
I'm so beautiful. Much more beautiful than those other babies.
You're not even in my league, old lady.
I like the way that he strangles her and then lift bonks her head. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. David sees it all goes down, and
of course he just stands there and watches her die.
Right.
Again.
Monster turns around and goes after his mom, and David's like, totally busts through the window. It's pretty awesome. Battle roll. And he's fighting it, and then he's losing, and then Ariel's like, bad baby. Yeah.
Before he starts losing the fight, though, he does the one-liner. He pops out and he's like, say hello to Papa. And then he misses by like 8 feet.
It does. Oh, my God.
He shoots the central computer like, oh, God damn it.
David, you dumb shit. She's like, yeah, so they're being mom and dad. She's like, don't hurt people. It's wrong. And Monster's like, mama. So stupid.
And was the monster going to rape her?
I don't know what the monster's intention was.
It's going to rape his own mom?
I don't know. It's just
getting weird at this point.
to find out because David has fashioned a spear and he's like, yeah!
He shoves it right up his ass.
Kills him
And
with
that kills
stabbing
him.
Yeah, stabbing him in the asshole. Totally kills him every time.
Right.
Gaddafi!
I am going to kill my son, baby monster, by shoving this spear into its rectum. That is what I'm going to do. It's not like, oops, I tripped or I missed. He, like, just yanks it all away.
Yeah,
Vlad
well,
the
I think
Impaler.
in his defense, he's seen these things not go down to a lot of things, and he's like, if this doesn't kill you, you ain't gonna be happy.
Right? So it's dead. And then the second one busts in, and they tussle, and it backs him up to the circuit board or whatever, and he grabs a fucking cable and electrifies it, even though it's globbed on, like, they are in a bear hug. David gets none of the electricity.
Nope.
He had rubber-soled shoes on. He was going to be fine. He was grounded.
It's a man in a rubber suit. It's covered in rubber.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's grounded too. All right, so it's dead. And then Robin and Kyle walk in and they're like, hey guys, what did we miss? I feel better now. Let's go get nachos. The end.
The end.
Wow, what a ride. Questions?
Did they get up because neither one of those monsters are dead and kill the shit out of those 4 people?
I don't think either of those monsters are dead. You have you have to do some serious damage to stop these things.
You have to incinerate them.
Incinerate them, chop them up.
That doesn't work. Burning them has not worked twice.
Burning them does not work.
Well, that laser incinerator thingy.
They could zap them to the landfill.
That's what they need to do directly rather than hug each other and go to the cafeteria.
Yep.
Is round up whatever's left and put it in the dumpster zapper and then get out the mop and all of the heavy chemicals.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They got to bleach that place. Put them in the acid bucket. Something. I don't know. No, they're dead. They don't make it. As evidenced by the lack of the terror within 3. They died 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
Well, and here's my question.
Okay.
And we kind of kicked it around at the beginning of the show. What happened to the other lady?
He just says she died.
What do you think happened to her? Let me put it that way.
They didn't have a vaccine, so maybe she contracted the virus.
Maybe. Or they went too far north, ended up in Wyoming, and she was like, fuck this place, just kill me. So he did. It was a mercy kill.
I think he pushed her out in front of some monsters. He's like, take her instead.
Knowing David, or like he didn't divulge vital information to her and she died from it.
She died from a tarantula pod.
Right, maybe. Well, he didn't know about the tarantula cacti either, though, so
I bet that he was high on peyote and he was, monster TV was happening and the monster's like, that one's not high.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's get her.
Yeah.
That checks because he's like, I have everything but the peyote. How come you're missing that? I never ran into any peyote. Yeah. Never.
Smoking your own stash.
Yeah. How come you don't have any peyote? You're like, well, yeah, yeah.
Okay. I don't have any questions. This thing ties itself up pretty nicely. Other than, what we discussed in the first movie, the logistics and the life cycle of these monsters. This one doesn't venture too far other than Monster Baby. Monster Baby doesn't make a whole lot of sense in any way, but the normal Lucians don't make sense either. So I'm not even going to approach Monster Baby's business.
And maybe we're right because we don't really see a whole lot of them anymore.
Right.
And they don't have the costumes anymore. I guess they burned them or something for another movie, maybe. I don't know, because you don't actually see one of the monsters from the first one ever in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Did anybody else notice that Finger Monster only had one arm?
No.
It only had one arm. Why?
I thought the Finger Monster only was an arm. Like, all you saw was an arm.
It had legs. Didn't it?
I don't remember seeing anything but a very tight shot on the hatch and an arm trying to get into it. That's all I saw.
Yeah. They shot around Finger Monster quite a bit. You don't get a good look at Finger Monster like you do the other Lucians in the first one. More Monster
He's
Baby.
like, trust me, I'm going to shoot Schindler's List in 2 years. You don't want me to get a camera anywhere near that piece of crap.
All right. Anybody else?
Nope.
Okay. Final recommendations, starting with Jackie.
Nope.
Okay.
If you've seen the first one, you've seen this one. They are the exact same fucking movie.
Okay.
Except with the plot twist that David is a major dickhead who doesn't fucking warn anybody about anything.
Really not a good person or not somebody you want anywhere near you.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Sam.
I don't think it's exactly the first one. The first 2/3 of the movie is the road there, and that makes it more interesting. The last third of the movie is the other one with a bonus monster.
Right.
However, the dubious nature of the bonus monster and how it bonks everybody hilariously, the on-screen jewel that is Burton Gilliam, and all of the other nonsense that happens, the killing the shit out of the cult and being outside a lot more, I think this one's a do for me.
Okay. Moved it into the do column. I am also going to give it a do. I had a lot more fun with this one than I did the first one. There's some zany business that shakes down in this.
It's also, not to cut you off, but I'm cutting you off, it's made a lot better than the first one.
It is. It is.
The writing he's not there as a writer yet, but obviously the people that made the music and the cinematographer go on to great things, and he handles the direction of this very adequately, and he went fast too because he got to keep working for Corman. So,
yeah.
I would like to say that whoever did the monster design, you're an ass, and that looked terrible.
It does look bad. It does look bad, but that's why I like it.
I thought they were going more for the gore factor than they were about actually having me believe that this is a mutated monster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
It was like Carrie.
Okay.
Like it was like watching Carrie come off of the stage and just start monstering people, backhanding people.
Yeah. Yeah. Very Carrie-esque. Is it okay if I finish my do or don't?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, like I was saying, I did have a lot more fun with this. There's a lot more getting loose with silly stuff. It seems like everybody knew it was stupid and ran with that anyways. It's not epic by any means, and there are points in time where David's wandering around doing nothing that you're like, all right, let's get this, and trying to set up the Rocky Mountain people in their situation, and they don't really even have much of a situation until David and Ariel show up. So they're crammed in there unnecessarily for a lot of the movie. But I thought this was a good cheesy monster stinker.
It has the characteristics of somebody that Corman trusts to just do the X things he wants. Hit these bases, do it with this much money, and then do it on time. Oh, I just told you what you have to do. You get to choose how much fun you have with it. And guys like Stevens and Wynorski and Fredel and Ray know that they only have to round those bases. And beyond that, they get to do whatever the fuck they want because it's just going on the shelf.
Yeah.
They can put their little shit in and have a good time and just get it done fast.
It's
you
also
got 3 tries on every shot.
The first one, the only thing that we enjoyed about the first one, I mean, we were devoid of enjoyment. The only thing we liked was the dubious nature of, again, the Lucian's reproductive cycle. That was the only thing that we enjoyed about that movie. This one is like, okay, that's the only likable thing that it's so stupid and can't make sense. Let's double it. Let's add a monster baby that doesn't make sense to it as well in a totally different nonsensical way. So they're like amping up the only good part about the first one. It's dumbness.
Yeah, and that he knew that he had to use pretty much the same style of sets. They're not exactly the same. They didn't recycle everything. It'd been too long. But what else can I have besides this? Nothing other than the outside stuff. So I'll just do more outside to make this more interesting.
Right. So there you go. 2.5 dues, kind of. I think it's Jackie's pick next week. Do we want to? The podcast will release the day after Halloween. Do you still want to do a horror movie, or what do you want to do?
I will surprise you.
Okay. All right. I hope everybody has a great week. A weep. Go have a weep. Go be David for a minute. Be sad about the wasteland, and maybe the random lady will be like, "Don't worry, I'll hold you." Have a good weep.
Yeah. Do me. Don't step on those spider bags.
Get to the chopper.